Hello and welcome to Pens, Paint and Whiskers. So I've already started in my next little part of Ye Olde Redraw. So this is another Ye Olde Redraw and a side project of mine, or a kind of a constant art project that I have been doing for well over the past year is putting all these little funny little weird medieval and sometimes Renaissance artworks from Pinterest, creating them, putting them in a wheel, spinning the wheel, and whatever I pull out, making them in my own interpretation. So this I've sort of half done. And yeah, you're going to see me inking and filling out more of this sort of shape. So he's going to turn from really messy pencil shape into hopefully something a little bit more visually appreciative or visually appealing on camera. So what I did was, I'll just show you what it is I'm working with. This is the original. I'll link it down below anyway, but this is the original picture. And I printed them out on little Word document and made little prompt cards. So this is now, I believe it was quite hard to trace this particular image. So I likely could be wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. It's the mythical kind of Greek, I think, musician Arion, and he is on the back of a dolphin. So yeah, and it comes now, I believe it says, from what I could tell doing image searching, it comes from the 13th century French manuscript Roman de Alexandre, or the Romance of Alexander. But yeah, so I have a feeling, I'm not sure, I don't know, to me that looks a little bit later than kind of 1300s, 1200s. It looks a little bit more 14th century, but I'm not sure. But anyway, so I just thought I'd show that off. So I had made up a sort of a prompt jar. So that's what it looks like. It's a bit overfilled. It's got little papery cards like that. And I picked this, and now I'm going to turn it from pencil sketches into some semblance of more realistic art, so to speak. And when I was doing it, when he came up, I might see, can I leave the little picture close to me? Yeah, okay. That works. Yeah, so when I was making it, so obviously it depicts Arion, and I don't know too much about Arion, but I believe it is the mythical story of him being captured by pirates, and I think, or kidnapped even. And when he escapes, he kind of escapes via the back of a dolphin, upon the back of a dolphin, so he has a dolphin to help him escape. I thought that's interesting. Now what I could do is, considering it's dolphin and sea and being mainly aquatic, is anybody going to really mind if I make Arion well, it's not Arion, but make him a merman? And if you're a constant watcher, you will know my obsession with mermen for some reason. I don't know why. But any excuse at all, and I will draw them. So I was delighted, I must say, when I pulled that picture of Arion out of the jar, because I thought, woohoo, I get to make a merman. And yeah, and they're very fun to make. And what I do is, you can probably see, I'll go a little bit more into I'll sketch him out a little bit more, and then I'll describe what exactly I'm using. His tail does look a little bit funny, so if I can trust the process, but not try and fill it out all the way, hopefully I'll make his tail look a little bit better. But I was delighted in pulling him out, because I thought, why not make a kind of more Grecian sort of depiction of a merman and a dolphin. It's a very typical image, but that doesn't mean it's not a good image to go with. So yeah, I'm doing it here, and the dolphin, as you can see, going more kind of ancient sort of fish. He's a little bit kind of like a typical kind of old fish that you would see on sort of those old classical fountains. He's got, I decided to give him a little kind of, it's harder to see now, but he's going to get a little kind of wolfish snout. I do kind of like that with my my kind of depictions of fish. They're a little bit, I kind of like to push them out a little bit in that they look a little bit like wolves, and I like pushing out the kind of idea that they're generally to fall under the term sea beast. So yeah, that's why he's got a little snout, and he's got a lot of fins. So as I'm doing it, I'm going to have to be really careful in realizing, well, whose fin is whose. Is it merman or dolphin? I'm not sure, but I'm just hinting in the waves here, because of course you can't have a merman or a dolphin without lots of waves and lots of movement. So hopefully now it's going to look okay. Yeah, so I'm just sort of, any kind of gaps I'm seeing here, I'm just hinting in movement of waves. And I've already taught about colours, so I might show off the colours in a little bit. And I did a colour test on cartridge paper. So when I pulled that this piece up here, the main colours I could see were kind of purple, green and blue. So I'm going to actually keep those colours. The dolphin's definitely going to stay purple. Now, as for the man here, I'm not sure. I was thinking maybe kind of teal for the waves, but then I thought teal for him, I'm not sure. But yeah, so I'll show the little colours that I've picked. I might show them at the end, because I was already happy with the colours of the original there, so I thought, why not keep those? Green and teal and purple are really nice colours anyway to put together. So yeah, why not do them there? And as you can see, so I had started with his body anyway, just to kind of get a feel for it. I'm not that sure about his tail, but I have put in little, you might be able to see here, I've put in sort of instruments, because he of course is using one. So in the original he's depicted as having a harp. Now I was thinking, well, a harp would be a nice instrument to have, but why not make it a little bit more Grecian looking and more undersea looking, considering that he is a merman. So that's what I'm going with. So it's more like a lyre here, I think. I'm not that up on my ancient instruments, but it looks good and it feels good with him. So I'm going to make a little kind of a little sort of border with that instrument, and it's got quite a big clamshell in the middle too, and he's got other clamshells. So I am really happy with the border anyway, and I might do a kind of more a Grecian look to it, because he comes from a kind of a medieval piece of artwork, it doesn't necessarily mean he has to stay a medieval piece of artwork. He can go Grecian if he likes, and I do like the idea that he's going to go Grecian. So these two, I've got two, I think they're lyres, I'm not sure. Somebody now will surely correct me, but anyway. So I'm then going to do a big clamshell in the opposite corner. So I aim to keep the border. Sometimes in my works and in the original works, the medieval borders of manuscripts are really quite busy. And that's what makes them quite beautiful, actually. But I've decided, going with a more Grecian look, I'm going to keep it a little bit not so busy. And my throat is not being the best this morning. But yeah, so, and again, like the merman, I'm going to do a kind of the dolphin's body. Is I'm going to take a drink of water, actually. Now, so yeah, like the merman's body here. So I envision mer creatures, to me, have quite windy tails, a little bit serpentine. The dolphin is getting that too. So I want kind of this part of the picture to be the mer man, and this sort of dolphin, this upper part, to be the dolphin. So it's kind of going with kind of the idea that they're both sort of both coming together now. They do have maybe a sort of a good sort of, I won't say relationship, but are relying on each other, but maybe they are kind of friends anyway, and yeah, they're well used to each other's company in the Aegean Sea. I don't know, but yeah, so we'll hint in some of the waves, and I like the idea that he might be trying to or getting help with calming a storm. So I'm going to do more as I make more. You'll see more tumultuous waves coming up, and I'm just going to hopefully hint in his tail. So this dolphin is yeah, quite a windy fellow, or sea beast anyway. So that's the main kind of main body done. And you might notice that I also, if you've been following along, I do like to do my mer creatures with quite a lot of spines, and I might just show him off. He's on a loose piece of paper, so it's easier. But yeah, so I do tend to depict my mer creatures with more kind of how would I say, more yeah, kind of dragony looking looks. So he has more sort of spines on him, and he has spines going down his body. So you might have noticed that he's got a row of spines on his back, and he's got little kind of spines on his brow and his jaw. So I actually like that with my mer creatures. I think it kind of gives an added kind of interest. I always joke that they're called dragonfish men, and yeah, I think they are. I like the idea that you can put horns on them. Now, horns wouldn't necessarily be something you would associate with mer creatures, but I do like the idea of doing that, and you can do it. There's no one saying no, you're not allowed to have spiny mermen, because yeah, I would like more kind of pushing the boat out with my kind of, when I'm designing or looking at something, I think it gives it an extra sort of a non-human quality. That's what I would go for. Now, some of this border, sometimes these knotworks don't perform the way I want them to perform, as you can see, but that's the reason I'm using a lighter pen. So just in case I do get a what would I say, a medieval boo-boo or a medieval mishap, I can go over it. So this, I should say again, my materials are slightly different. I'm using a Zealer 300 GSM Artist's watercolor paper pad. So no marker pad, even though yes, I am going to use marker on it. I know I definitely shouldn't, but I just haven't been able to get marker paper so far, and probably as I'm doing this on camera, you might see sometimes it does soak up a lot of the little marker, the ink from the marker, but yeah, it's okay. It does the job. I like it. This Sealer, I haven't used Sealer before, and I just needed something when I finished my Ohuhu. So that was the only one available. So I took it, and yes, don't use marker in a watercolour pad as Sealer is. But I do it anyway, and it does seem to work. But you're not recommended to do it because it does use up, kind of soaks up more of the ink in the markers. Just be aware of that. But I have to get myself more marker paper. It's not very common here for it's usually watercolor or mixed media, so I just happen to be using this. So that's Sealer anyway, and the pen I'm using is a Unipin fine liner in grey. So it's a quite a nice little kind of light, very light grey. And there's a reason for that, because if I do make a mistake, which is inevitable, you can kind of easily sort of bury it under either white gouache or another marker itself. And I believe with the darker colours I have planned, it's going to be very easily concealed, any medieval mishaps that I do make. And I'm just realising, yeah, I've made kind of one already, but yeah, fill out that shell a little bit more. So I didn't want his kind of these little designs to level up. On second thoughts, I probably should have spaced them a little bit better, but it's okay, we'll go with it. They were probably wanted more length in them. But yeah, no, I'm happy so far with how he's turning out. And for part 2, I'll do a little bit more off camera. And then for part 2, you will see me probably putting in more colour. And you'll probably see how this paper performs with markers. Even though it's not kind of, it shouldn't be performing with markers really, but however. And one last bit, I can think about these interloop and little gold chains here, and a thicker clamshell. So there he is. So he's transformed hopefully from more of a loose pencil sketch into a depiction of mer creature and dolphin. So yeah, I'm really happy with how that looks. And yeah, I might try and fix whatever is happening with his tail. I might try and fix that off camera. And I have some of his colours. Now what I did was I had some scrappy bits of spare cartridge paper. And I'm just going to show, and I have some of them on show here actually. So these are, I went with all graphite markers. So these are graphite. So I think they're a French company. So they're alcohol markers, and they're not Ohuhu, but I choose them because the colours sometimes can be a lot nicer than Ohuhu in their tones of purple, say, and sometimes blue. So that's why I choose them, and that's just a sheet of cartridge paper. So obviously it's not suitable, but that's the kind of colour scheme I envision. So it is quite like this colour scheme anyway. And I might just rub away any of the little pencil strokes, and I might just inform you all as I as I've made it a habit of the book in question. And also he is sketched in a Derwent, I think a light pencil wash. But once you rub out all of this, more details or more gaps, should I say, become clear. And then I'll go over them in probably off camera. But this book here, the Roman de Alexandra, or the Romance of Alexander, it is obviously, I work from medieval manuscripts. and sometimes Renaissance texts as well. But this is it's more, what would I say, nearly like an epic poem. It's a 16,000 verse 12th century poem dealing with or proclaiming the fantastical adventures of Alexander the Great. And it's currently, I believe, now again, information on it was quite scant, and somebody might correct me in the comments. I might be wrong, but I believe it is held in Oxford, the Bodleian Library. But it originally was made in Belgium in about, I think, 1344. So, and what it is, as mentioned, it is a fully sort of a full kind of like an epic poem, a depiction of the hero Alexander the Great from classic myth romance. And well, it's more of a fantastical sort of exploration of his journeys and his fabulous adventures that he had. That doesn't mean that Alexander the Great is not a real person, of course, but this history here depicts him as more of a romantic hero. And it does romanticize a lot of his what he did, and it goes on and on for about maybe 16,000 verses. So there's a lot of writing in it, and all throughout in the original book there was over 100 of these little fantastical drawings. They were all illuminated, and they were all decorated, inked in. There was over 100 of them in the original book. Now, however, time and tide, it waits for no man. I'm just going to say I haven't got my little miniature brush with me today, so unfortunately I'm going to have to do what I don't like doing and brush away rubber shavings with my hands. But yeah, the original contained over 100 of these beautifully depicted, beautifully made illuminations. Time and tide, of course, and the book being a rather fragile object. Unfortunately, we lost at least 40 throughout the book's history, and we're now left with 60. So there is about 60 remaining today. And they are obviously, of course, taken care of, restored, well respected within its setting now. And this particular depiction of Alexander's journey, so it goes from India to all over Greece and the Middle East. This particular depiction depicts him, Arion, riding a dolphin, and according to classical myth, he was a musician. I believe he was kidnapped by pirates, and I believe he escaped from an island. I'm not sure of the island, Lesbos maybe, I'm not sure. He believed, or he escaped with the help of a dolphin buddy. So going by this, I have now transformed. He's not Arion anymore, but I use it as the base. I've now depicted more mer creatures, so you can hopefully see him a little bit better now. And in part 2, I will be putting down some of the alcohol markers and talking through my colour plans. And then finally, part 3 will be when I am inking him in, so you'll see the final version of this. But so far I'm really happy with that. So off camera I'm going to work up more waves and come back and see me putting colour on him. If you've been a regular viewer, thank you very much. I deeply appreciate it. And if you're just new and you're just stumbling across me, welcome and thank you very much. And why not consider liking and subscribing? I post very regularly. I try to post weekly anyway, and if it's a series like this, more than weekly. So if you like what you see and you want to keep up with more similar little projects like this, consider liking and staying. And welcome, and thanks very much for watching.